Lavender is not one of the crops you see being cultivated every day in our state, but the Groff family has turned their dream of purple fields into a reality. Fred Hunter's Alabama takes us to Sand Mountain to visit their Grand Oaks farm.
We were retiring from the military and had built our dream home in another state, and my husband and I are really strong Christians, and we pray a lot, and we were praying, and after we got through praying, we both said at the same time, God just said, move us to the mountain.
God was like, hey, sell our house and move on. We didn't know where we were going to go. We had no clue. Never thought about Alabama at all. Never thought about farming at all.
So we got in the car and came this direction. And to watch our children, our youngest children, running with no mask on, with the dog, and this mountain breeze, and just becoming dots in the distance at the lake on the hill. I just told the realtor right there, we'll take it.
We weren't sure what we were going to do once we did buy this place. And, you know, we were just out walking one day. She mentioned, well, what about lavender? I was like, I don't know. We didn't know anything about it at all. You know, we actually had the soil tested, and luckily, you know, this here is a sandy loam soil, so luckily it was the right pH.
The sandy soil, in obvious abundance on Sand Mountain, coupled with the cool climate, turned out to be the perfect spot for the Groff's Grand Oaks Lavender Farm.
I remember once going to our beach house as a kid. My mom and I would go through parts of South Carolina going to Kiowa that there was this huge flower farm, and everyone going to the beach house for the weekend would stop, and she had this little roadside little thing, and she would have flowers out there, or you could go out in the field and go cut them.
So the Groffs combined Kate's family memories with a dream and not much expertise and began to plant lavender, not a common sight growing in the fields of North Alabama.
I talk to people, I meet clients or whatever, like, yeah, we got a lavender farm. And men are like, so? they don't really care much about it, you know, but you know, I was like, well, just go home and tell your wife. She'll understand.
It's hard to doubt a little divine intervention in the evolution of Grand Oaks Farm.
A man, he stopped at the fence and said he just wanted money for dinner. I said, come on, if you're willing to get on your hands and knees. So he worked with my husband and us, and plant by plant, hole by hole, that sweet soul helped plant this field, and I can't even thank him. I don't know who he is. We paid him, and I never saw him again.
And it seemed the Groffs weren't the only ones following a spiritual calling to this place, and their chapel is the latest addition.
People would just come here for prayer. So, and we're like, well, if we got people coming for prayer, why don't we do something appropriate, you know, for that, you know? And so that's what we came up with.
The Groffs find spiritual growth goes well with their lavender.
We make our own products here on the farm. So we distill our own oil. We do soaps. We have a sweet grown Alabama soap that we do that's a lavender soap. We do lavender linen spray, which a lot of people call pillow spray.
Grand Oaks is about a fragrance which goes far beyond their farm.
I'm telling you, if anyone ever has that feeling that God is leading you a direction, do not ever think twice about listening to God first, no matter what the cost, because it's worth it.
Traveling the back roads of Fred Hunter's Alabama, there are things you expect to see and others you might not. One of the latter could be a chapel in the middle of a lavender field. The Groffs say they're harvesting joy, sweet smelling and simply Southern.
An interesting side note to the Groff's Chapel, it's called a Rehoboth, a common name for churches and one community in Alabama. But it's actually a biblical term for a church without walls.
Interesting. Visitors are always welcome at Grand Oaks, which is located in rural DeKalb County. Directions are available on their website, grandoaksfamilyfarm.com. Vacationing in another country can rejuvenate the spirit and make you more productive. A group of young Alabamians is hoping that more than a week overseas will make them better leaders. We'll talk with members of Agricultural Leaders for Alabama about how 10 days in Brazil changed their lives.
Alpha Insurance is here for you. In the big moments and the small ones. When things are going great and not so great. We're by your side. safeguarding your home from all of life's little surprises. Defending the home court with peace of mind protection since 1946. That's life with Alpha Insurance.
I'm Heath Clary from Greensboro, Alabama. I'm proud to be the Alabama Catfish Farmer of the Year. I've been raising catfish for 9 years, and I've been eating it longer than that. From fish fries to taco night, I've tried just about every recipe, and they're all great. Because no matter how you cook it, U.S. farm-raised catfish is always going to be fresh, clean, and mild. I make sure of that. Find recipes and restaurants at uscatfish.com.
Every day, across our state and across our nation, farmers wake up before the sun and work tirelessly to grow the food we need. From the sweat on their brows to their quiet prayers for rain, their hard work and dedication feed billions. They don't just grow our food, they grow our future. So the next time you sit down for a meal, remember, thank a farmer.
Soybeans are a very versatile product. We make crayons out of it.
A lot of the combines you see rolling through the fields have a lot of plastic side panels that are made from a soy product.
The soybeans that we grow on our farm mostly goes into chicken feed.
Soybean production in Alabama employs over 10,000 people.
We grow some of the best soybeans in the world.
We go the extra mile to make sure when our name is stamped on it, we know it's the best product we can produce.
Hey y'all, I'm Kim Earwood with Alabama Ag in the Classroom. A rooster, an iguana, a turtle, and a pig walk into a kitchen. There's no punchline. That's the plot for this week's selection of Miss Kim's Book Corner. Cook a doodle-doo. Big Brown Rooster is sick of the same old chicken feed, so he whips out his great-grandmother's cookbook and sets out to make strawberry shortcake. To help him in his culinary quest, Rooster turns to the unlikely trio of a turtle, iguana, and pig. Amusing offbeat shenanigans ensue, but there's also a wealth of how-to information for aspiring young cooks. To find this book and other fun educational offerings, be sure to visit agfoundation.org/books. Miss Kim's Book Corner is brought to you by Alabama Ag in the Classroom. See you next time.